Hey everyone, I'm here at Microsoft Ignite 2024, and it wouldn't be a Microsoft show without my favorite Microsoft employee, Sandhya. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me.
So last time Seattle, freezing cold. Now Chicago, freezing cold with snow. How's your Ignite been?
It has been really busy. Really great traction in the booth, and I think the sessions were hopefully really informative. We got a huge crowd, so yeah, it's going well.
And it's Ignite and Inspire, isn't it? You kind of mashed the two together, I think. There's like multiple shows in one, so there's loads more people. Again, in Seattle, we had that kind of small upstairs room. This is huge. This is awesome.
It's Chi-Town. It's Chicago, right? So everything is a little bigger than Seattle. So
Okay, now let's talk about tech. Let's talk about this. We got to say Copilot, surely. What's your kind of top takeaways from Ignite 2024? What have you been showing off and getting you excited?
yeah, so there's so much here. I think when it relates to teams and devices and a lot of the things that we're working on, two big things really stand out to me. One is obviously Copilot and the meeting facilitator being able to take AI notes. Also along those lines, the AI interpreter is really quite good.
I'm annoyed because I've been learning German in Duolingo and I've got a 305-day streak, and now that's just gone away. I don't need that anymore.
Well, it can supplement.
Yes.
So, now you can learn while you work, right? And then I think the other big thing is around places. So places going,
It's GA now, isn't it? Literally at the show, it's GA now.
It is available to anybody. And so with devices, we are working very closely with that team to make sure that when you're on the ground in the office, we are sending signals and information so that the IT admins can better understand how people are navigating the office, which is really cool.
So give us the elevator pitch on places. Everyone knows about Word and PowerPoint and Teams and SharePoint and Azure. Give us the 30-second on places for anyone who doesn't know what places is.
Yeah, so, as people are coming back to work, there's a lot of confusion, right? Who's coming in? When are they coming in? How do I know how to find my friends or colleagues? And Places is really trying to rationalize all that for employees. So giving you the tools before you get in to tell people, to help you plan, so you can book in your calendar. Here's when I'm coming in, here's where I'm going. You can actually book spaces in advance. And that also helps the IT admin plan, right? For people flow and all of that. And then when you get into the office, it's really about, okay, where are you going? What are you doing? How can you actually connect and find the people that you work with easily in the office? So that's the places, I would say, high level vision. I think where devices really comes in is Places is great as a software tool, before you get to the office and as you're navigating through the office. But when you actually sit down, really we don't know where you're sitting or who's sitting where and all of that. And so what our device integrations do with Bookable Desk as well as BYOD rooms and Teams rooms is really helps you understand that somebody is actually occupying the desk that was reserved before, or somebody is occupying a room that was reserved before. And so that really helps with IT admins understanding not just are people booking, but are they actually using the spaces they book?
No more ghosts.
Yeah, or are people not booking in advance and coming in and just using it ad hoc? So really understanding those usage patterns so they can figure out, okay, what are the days where there's the highest usage? Or honestly, last week, this room or this desk, it was at 100% capacity, and people were there all the time. And now next week, nobody is there. What happened? Right? Did somebody steal the device? Or is it totally broken? And so anybody who goes over there just doesn't, connect and goes somewhere else. So things like that.
So the ability to then touch in and to, because again, we've had that on the meeting room displays, the ability to check in and check out, again, that's going to come to desktop as well, I guess.
Yeah, well, so we have it on Bookable Desk. So basically you just plug into your monitor, and as long as that monitor is set up, We
were talking, so this is coming from the USB, and this was the kind of what we were doing in meeting rooms with BYD last Ignite. We're now taking that to the desktops now, and that's really, really cool.
Yeah. So all the teams, kind of, rooms essentially like BYOD rooms and, desks and teams rooms also, sending signals. Eventually, that'll get into Places Analytics and.
We were saying it's like crowdfunding almost. Again, once people have been there several times, it then brings that up into the login.
Yeah, so with BYOD rooms and bookable desks, crowdsourcing is definitely
not funding.
Yeah, crowdfunding would be great, but yeah, crowdsourcing, so essentially, once you have five or more users at one device, we can tag that as that's a shared device likely, and so then that'll show up in the IT admin. Now, the new thing that we talked about here at Ignite around that is it's great to see the devices, but if you don't know where they are, that's a problem. And so what we're introducing is auto associate. And so what that does is, so let's say you book a room and you plug into that room, and then an hour later I book that BYOD room and I plug into the same room. It looks at the invited room. And the fact that we both plugged into the same exact device and we had the same exact room invited means that that device is likely associated with that room account. And so we're doing that auto association on the back end. And so then the IT admin can go in and say, okay, I think that these rooms are, in these devices are located in these rooms and are associated with these room accounts. And then once you can associate, now you get all that great usage information, call quality information, and you can then start to assess which are the highest used rooms, and then figure out, okay, these are rooms where I want an enhanced experience. I want to put a Teams room in there, Teams room device and all of that.
So there's a lot more awareness now of who's using what where. I think the other thing around awareness that was brought up is around, and the thing you're working on is speaker attribution. I got that right, yeah? Speaker attribution. And again, the fact that we're not just saying meeting room 1 said this, meeting room 2 said that in the transcription notes, but being able to break it down to Sandhya said, Neil said. Now that's always been on the Teams room for Windows devices, but you just blew my mind earlier and said, someone announced it was going to be BYOD, but also Android as well. Talk to us about speaker attribution on those other devices.
Yeah, so we launched it on Windows, I think early this summer, and it's getting good traction, and we're going to be expanding that to BYOD rooms as well as Android next year, first half of next year, and I think that's really goes hand in hand with a lot of the Copilot announcements that have been made, because to your point, if you don't have speaker attribution turned on, it's, we're all talking in the room and we're saying, yeah, I'll take that action. Yeah, I'll do that. And then you go.
And you got positive deniability.
And yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, the conference room said that, they would put together the full marketing plan. Great. Okay. So now with speaker attribution, it could actually say, well, Neil said that he would take this action. Sandhya said that she would take this action. That'll show up in AI notes. That'll be in the recap. When you query Copilot, you can actually say, well, what did Neil sign up for in the meeting? And it'll actually tell you, what that is.
And again, this is not just on a BYD cable. Our wireless Air Media solution, bring your own device, that will have this capability inherited. You're giving us free features, I guess, to our hardware, which is great. And again, our Android Video Bar 70, again, that's going to inherit this capability just via a software update in the Teams client.
Yeah, so speaker attribution, definitely Teams Premium, and then the Copilot functionality. Obviously, you need the Copilot license. But the idea is that we are trying to enable these experiences as much as possible wherever anybody is using Teams. Obviously, the Teams room is going to give you kind of the best experience when it comes to that, but there are going to be rooms where they're smaller rooms or they're more ad hoc rooms where you only have, you're bringing your PC in and you're connecting to something in the room, and we want to give customers a great Teams experience there as well.
Sandhya, thank you for taking us through that. Loads of cool stuff in there. I love talking to Sandhya because you get into the details of this. I mean, Ilya gives it from a 50,000, but this is the detail. She's amazing. Do you want people following you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Twitter. So.
Very cool. Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you for tuning on. Loads of places, go and check that out on Microsoft, and loads of cool stuff coming on Teams. Again, I'm really excited about that speaker attribution coming to our BYOD and our Android devices in 2025, and also that ability for places to be able to, again, take that check-in and loads of cool hardware, hopefully coming from us to be able to embrace that in the future. And we'll catch you on the next one.